In late autumn and early winter of 1536-37, Henry VIII faced the greatest challenge to his rule. The Lincolnshire Rising took place in October 1536 and was over in a fortnight, yet it showed a great example of how to raise a large-scale rebellion. The rising was caused by the closure of smaller monasteries, the assessing and collecting of 1534 subsidy, and the state of the clergy.
Collections, please.
These activities created further rumours of new taxes, the seizure of goods, and even the closure of some churches. It's hardly surprising that when the commissioner arrived in Louth, the men guarding the church and its treasure seized him.
Here shows the rebels drawing up demands in order to present to the king. However, when presented to the king, he rejected them, refusing. Because of this, the rebels decided to disperse.
The pilgrimage started on October the 8th, whilst the Lincolnshire Rising was still taking place, until a pardon was issued on December the 6th. Both events had a lot in common.
Robert Arce managed to get support of over 30,000 men due to the unfairness they were receiving from the monarchy in the north, as of the bad harvest in 1534 and bad taxes.
It was Robert Arce, the leader of the rebellion, who dubbed it the Pilgrimage of Grace. This piece of propaganda ensuring that it would appeal to the wildest number of people.
By October 16th, Arce, with a force of some 10,000 men, had entered York, where he was welcomed by the citizens. Soon the mayor had handed over the town and Arce had sent him a copy of the rebels' demands, which is very similar to the Lincolnshire Rising. The armies were led by nobles or gentry. Lord Latimer and Sir Christopher Danby took Barnard Castle and then proceeded to pillage the Bishop of Durham's castle at Bishop Auckland. And the government was in panic. On October 21st, Pontefract surrendered without a single blow. However, Darcy's support for the rising and his production of badges for the pilgrims confirmed Henry's fears about his loyalty. Arce, with a force of 30,000, made its way to Pontefract, where they met the Duke of Norfolk and his force of 8,000. The demands made by the pilgrims were quite vague, and Norfolk was able to win them over with their confidence.
First action was the March to Lincoln. Here, they drew up a set of articles and sent them to London.
It was agreed by the pilgrims that 2 representatives would go to London with their demands for Henry. However, he rejected these, claiming they were too vague.
However, when the king's reply reached Lincoln, threatening severe punishment if they did not disperse, the leadership was forced to make a choice. They now knew that further resistance was treason, the chance of victory was slim, and that a large royal army was on the way.
The articles were then taken to Norfolk, and as a result, the pardon was issued and the pilgrims began to disperse. Arce travelled to London at the king's request, where he was received with honour and showered with gifts. Arce had fallen for a confidence trick, and when he returned north, he spoke highly of the king. Here kind of marks the end of the Pilgrimage of Grace. However, it can be debated on whether the pilgrims succeeded or not.
Charlie. We've got to refilm that.
I keep forgetting we can't talk.
30,000 men because of the unfairness. Oh my god, there's a man coming.
Oh my god.
No, wait, stay there. No.
In late autumn and early winter. Oh my! In late autumn and early winter, 50. Oh my god! Hold on, I'm just practicing a bit. No, I can't. One, go. It was Robert Ask. Sorry. When they. Oh! It was hardly surprising that their first action was to march to Lincoln. But paid from church funds, a local force was assembled and its numbers soon began to swell as